Hi everybody. One of the most common things that I've noticed that people do is they will take a transplant from, say, a peat pot like this, and they'll try to put it into a big pot. This pot here is 2-3 times bigger than than this pot is here. What you want to do is you want to take a pot that is the next step up from this pot. So I would suggest you putting into a pot that is a ½ inch larger than the peat pot. So if you go, you can see when I turn it upside down that this actually, the open end of it does actually fit in here. What happens when you do this is that the plant then concentrates on particularly only the root growth. Here's a pot that is about the same size as this one. So this would be the same size pot. But if you take this one and you try to put it in this one, then you can see that it is actually smaller than this pot. Okay. You want the foliage to grow. When you transplant from a smaller pot into a pot that is a little bit bigger, will encourage the leaf growth instead of the root growth. The only time that you would put something into a larger pot is when it has actually grown out of this pot. That's when you would probably put it into the larger pot. And you can do this if you think that it's too deep as far as see how what I'm talking about here is being deep. This still will help. You can take and just put smaller amount of dirt inside your pot and then transplant it, and then as you go you can take a spoon or something, go in there and pull it up a little bit to the surface, pat it down, and add more dirt. You always want to transplant your plants so that where your plant comes up out of the dirt is where you want your soil to be. You do not want to cover that area with the soil. You want to try to keep it even. The other thing that I noticed is many people overwater their dirt. There's some suggestions that you can do if you have a larger container, is you can take a soda bottle and you can fill it up and turn it upside down. And what will happen, and push it down into the dirt, into the larger container, what this will do, it will feed the plant's roots as it is needed. And the self-watering containers are really good. The earth boxes are another really good idea, and you can just check the earth boxes to see whether or not they have with the dipper. I tried that with the corkscrew, with a cork inside of a, with the skewer punched into it, and because of the holes that I put in the PVC pipe, the cork caught on the rough edges inside. So now I can't even pull the cork out of the dipper. But I can still check to see if there's water in there. So if the skewer is wet, then I know that it is that there is still water inside. One other thing I wanted to mention was that, see on the inside of this pot how it's got some crud in here? When you go to transplant any plant into another pot, you want to get rid of the old, like you can still reuse this soil, but I would pour it out into another container and wash this pot completely. Like even this one. See, I don't know whether you can see how dirty that is in there. See that pot, how dirty that is? You want to clean these. So because whatever was wrong with the plant that may have died in this pot can be transferred to the new plant that you're going to plant into the new pot. So I don't know if there's any other questions. If you have any questions, then please feel free to message me or leave a comment in the box down below, and I will see if I can answer it for you. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you guys always.